me in my waiting period. I live inside my own world of make-believe.
Alright guys, here I actually had to cut a piece of the firewall out using beans. Someone had previously made a hole, and it was actually pretty jank. The hole was for the engine harness to be fed through. I really didn't like it, so I just ended up cutting it out, welding a piece of 16 or 18 gauge steel, and yeah, came out pretty well, and pretty happy with it. And on this bit, I'm actually welding some holes that were left from a previous bracket that had been removed by one of the owners this car must have had. They pried it up and ripped up the metal, so I'm just spot welding it here. Nothing fancy. But over here on the firewall, I'm just closing up some holes that were left behind from some self-tap screws. But after this, all I gotta do is just hit it with the angle grinder with a flapper disc and a little bit of filler, and we should be good for primer. Alright guys, so finally got the car ready for primer. So here I'm just shooting 2 quick coats of some quicksand primer. It's a 2-part primer, so it's got a hardener. So I'm just going to do the 2 coats, let it dry for a couple hours, and just get back to sanding it, just to get it knocked out as soon as I can. Alright, here's the paint we're going to be using. It's just some generic white. It's pretty inexpensive paint, but it'll look a hell of a lot better than what was on there before, so I want to give it a shot. Over here we got our reducer, our hardener for the paint, and our mix cup. It mixes 8:1:2 ratio. This stuff is just like off eBay, Autobahn. I haven't tried this stuff. I used American Restoration before on like 4 cars. All of them did the same thing as my red car, so I would not recommend using that stuff. But I don't know. I'm gonna try it on this one. Guinea pig this car, but we'll see.
Hey you guys, what's going on? As you can see earlier, I got the bay painted. I got this actually painted in the AM. I think it was like around 10. And I waited a bit to unmask it, but it came out pretty good. This is just like that. It's some cheap $100 paint on eBay again. It's not the stuff I used on my Red Hatch, which that crap sucked. I got Steven over here painting his wheels. And I just finished cleaning the cross member. I gotta let it dry before I can shoot some black paint on it. But yeah, I'm not too worried about this. The owner, or the guy that's planning on buying, he's planning on buying the car. He wants to do a couple things himself, so I'm sure he's gonna be doing lower billet control arms on that, you know, and maybe painting it better, powder coating, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked on the paint. And I guess now I gotta clean this thing and get the car ready to drop in the engine. So I'm gonna be painting that hopefully tonight once it dries off, come out in the morning, put it back in, and start cleaning this thing so I could get it in the car as well, because I need the car out of the way so we could start on Steven's car. Yep, Prelude. Alright guys, hopefully you're stoked on how the car's coming out. I did go to the hardware store and actually get a few new nuts and bolts. These were some of the nuts I got. This for the top hats. I just did that just because they were rusty and mismatching, so I think this looks a whole lot better. I'm hoping the soon-to-be owner of this car gets a dress-up kit for like the fenders and the headlights, so they have those really nice finishing washers. And yeah, but I'm really stoked how it's turning out. I'm hoping you guys are too. But for now, I think I'm gonna be just throwing the wheels back on the car and maybe the hood on it, and I'm gonna roll it out of the way so I can get going on that thing, because that car is Steven's car, and I gotta get it knocked out. I got the motor in here. Show you a peek of that. Painted the block, but it's actually a closed deck H22 with iron sleeves in it instead of the nickel plating ones. So it's been re-sleeved, and we have the rods and pistons in there. They're like CP pistons and like what are they? The manly rods. They're pretty big in comparison to the Eagle rods, which this is what this had. We bought it built, but we're changing a couple things. But yeah, I think I'll show you guys some of this in the next video. Then after that, I should be hopefully getting back to the Integra. But for now, thank you for watching. Until next time.